I think whatever that we achieve in this life that is worldly is doesn't doesn't give you contentment or absolute satisfaction, because it's like, if you have a mountain of gold, you want another mountain of gold. And if you have fame, you want power or authority. So there is always something else that we're aiming towards. There is nothing in this life that completely satisfies us except for the remembrance of God and the righteous acts that we do to to reach heaven.
This is an interesting discussion, and this is where typically I have a difference of opinion with most people, and I'm not saying I'm 100% right,
Yeah.
but I would like to think that these things are not mutually exclusive, right? So, for example, what are the typical good things people want in life? They'd like to have wealth, they'd like to have money, they'd like to have facilities, they'd like to have a big family, they'd like to have friends, they'd like to have fame and power and all those things.
Yes.
And interestingly enough, as long as you are staying within the domain provided by God or by Islam, which is
Yes.
pretty comprehensive and big, anyways,
Yes.
there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. So, for example, if you're earning money the right way, if
Yeah.
you're spending a lot of that on charity or as
No,
much
no,
as is required,
I completely agree. It actually helps to improve the quality of your life.
Exactly.
It's true. You cannot say that it's completely pointless. It's not
Yeah.
that it's completely pointless,
Yes.
but it's also not something that is the ultimate goal of a human being.
oh yes,
So it's something that, and I think if you really think about it, I think that there are much more noble goals that we can aim towards rather than just becoming rich, or for example, you can change a certain system that makes life easier for the next generation, or introduce something new, that helps people around the world. I think those might be much more noble goals for people who are doing well in life. Who are not doing well in life, of course, their only concern is to and to do well in the first place before they can do something bigger, I guess.
yeah, no, that's correct. I would just say we shouldn't be looking at money or trying to earn money or wealth as a negative thing,
Yeah, absolutely.
because it is essential. It is
Yes.
absolutely essential.
Yes.
I mean, there's a famous hadith in which the Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, the upper hand, or the hand which gives, is better than the hand which receives, right? So
Yeah.
you want to be in a position where you're able to give charity, rather than, God forbid, you're in a position where we have to, ask for charity.
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. And I was thinking about, why does the Quran have such an emphasis on the afterlife and not this life? And I think the reason is because it's in our nature to be concerned with this life, anyways.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah. I mean, it doesn't take a lot to understand.
yeah,
That, money is incredibly important.
yeah, absolutely.
For survival in this life. So I think that's not difficult for people to accept or understand.
Yeah,
But I guess what we're saying is, one shouldn't get caught up in the sense that he starts to forget about why he's actually here, what the purpose of life is, because
Yeah.
then it becomes a very dangerous thing.
absolutely. Yes.
And that is where I think sometimes when people say, when they look at money as a bad thing, is if the efforts or acquisition of wealth is taking you to a place where you stop differentiating between right and wrong,
Yeah.
or you get so preoccupied with it that you lose the basic purpose of life qualities, like looking after your parents, or being good with other people, or helping the poor, and of course praying or asking for whatever God has
Yeah.
asked us to do.
Yeah.
So if one gets to a point where he starts ignoring all of those things, then of course he's not in a good place.
Yeah, absolutely, yes.